ready.
Next item is, we have citizens' comments tonight, and I'll invite Chris Clare to the podium. And welcome back. And the rules are, we'll give you 5 minutes, and we'll give you a warning, and we may have questions or discussion after. That's all right.
Okay.
And
I
state
don't think I'll take 5 minutes, but I'm Chris Clare. I live in South Frankfort, proud South Frankfort resident. I wanted to stop by here tonight just to invite all of you and anyone else listening, if they can hear us, to the Access Soup Kitchen and Men's Shelter Walk of Awareness. It's on Thanksgiving morning. It's our 30th annual Walk of Awareness. It kicks off at 8 a.m. from the VFW, post 4075 at 2nd and Capitol. Of course, when I say starts at 8 a.m., that's Kentucky time, so it might be a little bit after that. This is Access's main fundraiser for the year. It costs about $30,000 a month to keep the doors open at Access, and that allows us to serve, in the typical year, about 24,000 meals. We have 16 beds for men who are not using, and those are full most nights. which I think actually points up the need for additional beds in town. And I was talking to a woman this afternoon who was in a tough spot, and she doesn't have anywhere to go because there's no women's shelter in town. So I know there are conversations going on about that, but it is a need. But for access, we also share just thousands of tons of food with other service organizations here in town that we pick up from Lexington and get donated to us. And yeah, so we're hoping that everyone who can come out and walk off your Thanksgiving meal early. We're going to go up Capitol Avenue around the roundabout there and then come back down, and we'll end at the men's shelter on 2nd Street here, right next to City Hall. And that's basically it. A big thank you to all of the supporters who donate their money and their time to Access. We couldn't stay open without all of them, and we hope to see all of you on Thanksgiving morning. Happy to take any questions.
Anyone? Commissioner May?
No real questions for you, other than the event tomorrow as a fundraiser. How do you raise the funds if people wanted to donate? Will you be there accepting?
Sure, you can come and register for the walk on the morning of. It's $30.
Okay.
We also, through our Facebook page, Access Soup Kitchen and Men's Shelter on Facebook, there's a link where you can go to the Run Sign Up website, and you can sign up there. You can donate your $30. You have the option to donate more if you'd like. And if you visit our website, accesssoupkitchen.com, we have a button for PayPal, and you can find a link to our Facebook page where you'll find the link to register for the walk. Thank you
very
for
much.
that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
And next consent calendar, we'll turn it over to our city manager,
Mayor,
Commissioner Unger.
can I make a motion to move item number 3, the Golf Pro contract, to action items?
All right, we have a motion to move action item number 3 on the consent calendar to action item, sorry.
Second.
Any, have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Smith will a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we will move that to action items.
Thank you.
Item number 1 on the consent calendar are the minutes from work session October 13th, 2025, the regular meeting October 27th, 2025, the special meeting October 29th, 2025. Item number 2 is the Brownfield Consultant Contract Award. Staff requested Board of Commissioners authorization to award Brownfield Consultant Contract to Limbach Funkhauser Incorporated and for the mayor to sign all related documents. The city was awarded a $500,000 Brownfield grant in July. Part of the grant work plan involves hiring a consultant for planning, oversight, environmental research, and testing. There is no budget impact on this grant. There was no matching funds. Item number 4, emergency shelter certification for local nonprofits. Staff requests Board of Commissioners approval for the mayor to sign their certification of approval for local nonprofits for the Simon House and the Campbell Street Shelter for the Kentucky Housing Corporation Emergency Solutions Grant for the emergency shelter component. The certification does not require any match from local government. Item number 5 is a contract with Josephine Sculpture Park, NEA grant. Staff requested Board of Commissioners authorize and for the mayor to sign a contract with Josephine Sculpture Park to oversee artist selection, coordination, and payment for the downtown art project, which includes various temporary sculptures in the downtown area. The contract includes a $20,000 NEA grant and $23,000 in-kind match from the city for a total contract amount of $43,000. Item number 6 is amendment number 1 to the agreement with the Capitol LLC. Staff requests approval for amendment number 1 to the agreement with the Capitol LLC dated October 14, 2024, to finalize the cost to the city and pay Capitol LLC for trench rock removal for the installation of the city sewer project and authorize the mayor to sign all related documents. The original cost was estimated at $341,812. Total new cost is $332,782 for a $9,000.30 savings. Item number 7 is a professional services contract with Lovo Systems Incorporated, Capitol Avenue Pump Station Drives and Controls Upgrade. Staff recommends a professional services contract with Lovo Systems Incorporated and for the mayor to sign all related documents. Total request for approval of this contract is $116,151. This was budgeted. Item number 8 are personnel actions. We have an appointment, Gina Jennings, Public Works Transit, 11/18/2025, transit driver. We have an appointment of Andrew Richardson, Public Works Transit, 11/14/2025, transit driver, non-CDL. Appointment of Mike Perkins, Public Works Transit, 11/18/2025, transit driver, non-CDL. We have a resignation of Cesar Mejia Ochoa, Fire Department, 11/3/2025, firefighter, and authorized payout of accrued leave. And we have a resignation of Matthew Pridmore, garage, 11/12/2025, mechanic.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. And we have a motion and a second for the consent calendar. Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll ask the clerk to call for the vote.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and the consent calendar is adopted. Next, we'll move on to action items, and if it's all right, we can move that consent calendar to the end and stay on track here. So, action item number 1, we have a second reading.
An ordinance amending Frankfort Code of Ordinances, Chapter 38, Ambulance Service, Section 38.30. This ordinance amends Section 38.30 of the City of Frankfort Code of Ordinances related to ambulance billing rates to increase the rates for basic life support, advanced life support, specialty care transport, and special procedures, and establish new charges for basic and advanced life support, disposable supplies, and treatment without transport.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Any discussion on this ordinance amending the ambulance service agreement? If none, I'll ask the clerk to call for the vote.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and that motion, that ordinance is adopted. Next, action item number 2.
That was second reading.
An ordinance of the City of Frankfort, Kentucky, authorizing the issuance of its City of Frankfort, Kentucky general obligation bonds, Series 2026A, in the approximate aggregate principal amount of $9,740,000, which principal amount may be increased by up to $975,000 or decreased by any amount, for the purpose of financing the cost of the acquisition, construction, installation, and equipping of a new municipal fire station and related facilities, furnishings, and equipment within the jurisdictional boundaries of the city, approving the form of the bonds, authorizing designated officers to execute and deliver the bonds, authorizing and directing the filing of a notice with the state local debt officer, providing for the payment and security of the bonds, establishing a bond payment fund for the bonds, affirming the maintenance of the existing sinking fund, authorizing the acceptance of the bid of the purchaser for the bonds, and repealing any inconsistent ordinances. This ordinance authorizes the issuance by the City of Frankfort of a series of general obligation bonds designated as City of Frankfort, Kentucky General Obligation Bonds, Series 2026A, for the purpose of financing all or a portion of the costs of acquiring, constructing, equipping, and installing a new municipal fire station and related facilities, furnishings, and equipment within the jurisdictional boundaries of the city for the well-being and benefit of the city, of the citizens of the city, paying capitalized interest on the bonds if desirable, paying all or a portion of the costs of credit enhancements for the bonds, if any, and paying all or a portion of the costs of issuance of the bonds.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
All right, a motion and a second. Any discussion on this ordinance obligating us to build the fire station. All right, if none, I'll ask the clerk to call for the vote.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and that motion is adopted. And action item number 3 is a first reading, seeking a sponsor.
I can sponsor.
Okay.
An ordinance fixing the rate of taxation for the year of 2025 on all taxable capital of domestic life insurance companies subject to tax and levying said tax for all city purposes. This ordinance establishes that the 2025 City of Frankfort ad valorem tax rate is 8 2/10 cents on each $100 valuation on taxable capital of domestic life insurance companies.
Is there any discussion on this proposed ordinance? All right, if none, we can look to put that on the voting meeting in December. What month is it? December.
Item number 4 is High Home Street Corridor Phase 1 TAP Grant Application Cabinet for Economic Development Grant State Program Application TAP and CED Grant Application Submittals and City Match Approval and Resolution. Staff requests Board of Commissioners approval to apply for the TAP and CED grant applications and for the mayor to sign all related documents. In order to keep Phase 1 of the project on schedule, the city recommends submitting to KYTC a Transportation Alternative Program grant application for $12.2 million to replace a portion of the rescinded NAE construction funding. Total city matching funds for this grant would be $238,000.
All right, Commissioner Unger.
I just want to thank you, Chuck Knowles, and all staff for work on this. This has been something that I personally have been pretty upset about, that the current federal administration rescinded some major funding for this Home Street Corridor project. And it sure seemed like it was just because the words access and equity were included in the title. So thank you for bringing this to us to apply for. I hope that we are able to continue to find other funding sources that can hopefully make up some of this rescinded money, which was about $15.6 million for the first phase of the Home Street Corridor. So thank you. And yeah, I'm just glad we're here, and hopefully we'll be able to make up some of that. And I would make a motion to approve. Second.
Okay, we have a motion to apply for these funds in a second. Any discussion, further discussion, questions? I just want to make a comment to the public that this is a two-phase, the Home Street Corridor project is a two-phase project. And the irony now is we do have the funding for the second phase all the way, but we don't have the funding for the full funding for the first phase. We had obligated some funds, over $4 million, I think, and just couldn't obligate all of it before the federal government rescinded it. So thankfully, we have identified another avenue, and we're going to pursue everything we can to make sure this happens. If no other discussion, I'll ask the clerk to call for the vote.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and that motion carries. Action item number 5.
Action item number 5 is a surplus property order from the fire department. Staff is seeking approval to declare a 40-foot shipping container as surplus property and authorize the mayor to sign all related documents.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, any discussion on this surplus order from fire? If none, I'll ask the clerk to call for a vote.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis,
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson.
Yes, motion is adopted. Action item number 6.
Action item number 6, a resolution of the City of Frankfort, Kentucky approving condemnation of certain parcels required for the right-of-way acquisition for the Home Street Corridor project.
Motion to approve. Second.
All right, a motion and a second. Is there any discussion or questions on this motion, this resolution? If none, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Richardson,
Yes.
Commissioner Unger,
Yes.
Commissioner May,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis,
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson.
Yes, and that resolution is adopted. Action item number 7.
Item number 7, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Frankfort, Kentucky regarding the payment of funds to the Franklin Anderson Industrial Development Authority.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion on this resolution? Questions? If none, Madam Clerk, will you call for the vote?
Commissioner Richardson,
Yes.
Commissioner Unger,
Yes.
Commissioner May,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis,
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson.
Yes, and that resolution is adopted. And action item number 8.
Action item number 8 is an emergency declaration, US 127 at Old Harrodsburg Road, force main break, Basham Construction. This is an emergency project. We will need to have a budget amendment to fund this project, and the contract is written as a do not exceed $125,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, any discussion on this emergency declaration? None. Please call for the vote.
Commissioner Richardson,
Yes.
Commissioner Unger,
Yes.
Commissioner May,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis,
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson.
And yes. And that's the end of the original action items. We will now go back to the Golf Pro contract from the consent calendar.
It was item number 3 on consent, the Golf Pro contract. Staff seeks Board of Commissioners approval to renew the Juniper Hills Golf Course Golf Professionals contract and for the mayor to sign all related documents. Kirk Schooley has been the Golf Pro since 2004, and his contract is up for renewal. There is no budget impact on the Golf Pro, as the Golf Pro is a budgeted position.
Commissioner Unger.
Thank you. Just to open up conversation, and this is no knock to Kirk Schooley. I know our community appreciates all he does, and so do I. But after review, I just realized that, the contract is 1 year with the 2 years that auto renew. And I just don't want to see us here or other future boards in 3 years, reviewing this again and then not necessarily seeing some potential changes at the golf course. Not that it's with the Golf Pro at all, but that I know some discussions after the recent park rates discussion, I've had people reach out to me about the golf course. So I just wanted to sort of stay at the front of our mind. And so that was something I wanted to bring up to the board to see if anyone else was interested in just keeping it maybe 1 year so that we bring it up again to discuss.
And right now, I think the way it was written was it's 1 year and then it's automatically renewed unless we, right,
Yeah.
is that the way it is?
That's right, unless 60 days prior to the expiration of the term, we take a step otherwise.
So would we just take out that 60-day?
Yes, it's actually really easy. I'm looking at it right now, and we just do a term of 1 year, and then the statement, nothing else about, the 2 additional automatic renewals. We would just say that either party may cancel for any reason upon 90 days. So ultimately, we're just deleting a little bit of language.
Just, it won't automatically renew?
Yes.
Was that in the form of a motion?
I can
Okay,
make that
let's make-
motion to make those changes so that it doesn't auto-renew.
Okay.
Is that good enough?
And if you all, yes, if you all want to do that and then vote on the as amended.
And to vote on it as amended.
Yes, that's perfect. That will
Okay.
work.
So we'll amend first and then vote on it after it's amended, correct? I'm pretty sure I'm hearing it right.
Actually, you can do it in one motion if you want. If everybody understands, instead of the 2 automatic renewals, we're going to 1 year. And that will be the amendment.
Got it. Second.
Okay. So we have a motion to proceed with the contract, with an amended contract, just taking out the automatic renewal.
Yes.
Everyone understand that? And we have a second on that? Is there any discussion, further discussion? Commissioner Smith Willis?
My commissioner is directed toward Commissioner Unger. Are there any, what the community is asking questions about in terms of the rates? Are they putting out what they would like to see out of the golf, like, or like, is it just like a very blanketed, like, we want more out of it, and then, you know,
Yeah.
us revisiting the contract?
I think what I've heard is, there's a certain quality of some, you know, maybe it's the greens or something else at the golf course that some people would like to see improved instead of a continue raising of rates. So I think I would like to dig into the golf course deeper to understand and also look at efficiencies. But I think just the change of this to 1 year just keeps it at the front of our mind.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Commissioner Richardson?
I would like to remind the community that the golf course, you know, is a quality of life item for the city, and I'm all behind the golf course. I've known Kurt for several years. I think he does a fine job. One of the biggest things that I talk to people when it comes to golf rates is they need to realize that just the maintenance and upkeep of the golf course has doubled, tripled exponentially over the years. You know, the golf course doesn't make a lot of money in the sense of operation wise, and I do believe we need to keep it. But I think the public needs to realize that it's very costly to keep a golf course. I've said this once in many meetings, I'll say it again. I travel all across the state. There's very municipalities that maintain their own golf course because they are quite expensive to do so. I agree that we need to provide a really nice course, and I play on Juniper several times, and I think it's well kept. Of course, that depends on the weather, if it's very dry, very wet, but I just kind of want to remind everyone that, you know, the golf course, it is an expensive endeavor for any municipality to maintain. And if I'm not correct, Mr. City Manager, now Kurt is a city employee, correct?
Correct. He's a city employee, but we also have some other issues with this contract with the golf pro. It's a different way that it works and operates with golf
Okay.
pros. But yes, we do pay him as a city employee.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Smith Willis?
I'm just thinking back to our last conversation. I do not golf, full disclosure, so I'm not sure what the golf, like I've been, but I don't know how to do it. So I've never been able to go to appreciate like the entertainment aspect of it, and there is no liquor sales there, correct? At the golf course?
There's beer, no liquor.
Okay, cool.
And
Just
that
curious.
is a license maintained by the pro, not by the.
Got you. That was a part of the conversation I remember. Thank you for that.
Beer, no liquor. Okay, everybody good with that? We have a motion, a second, and then no other discussion. I'll ask the clerk to call for a vote on the amended contract.
Commissioner Richardson?
Yes.
Commissioner Unger?
Yes.
Commissioner May?
Yes.
Commissioner Smith Willis?
Yes.
Mayor Wilkerson?
Yes, and that contract is adopted. And that's the end of our scheduled business. We can move on to any unfinished business. We didn't have anything from last meeting. Any new business to come before the board? Commissioner Unger.
I think after our last meeting and discussions with the city manager, we found out that there weren't any MOUs for the shooting range for those 18 external organizations. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. and maybe haven't been for a little while. So I just thought as that sort of procedural issue probably needs to be addressed. So I wanted to bring it up again, just to let everyone on the board know if they didn't know. And then I was sort of, I'm willing to make a motion to maybe suspend some of the external organizations from using it until we do have MOUs. But after some discussion, I also don't want to throw a wrench in any of the external organizations' plans to use it in the very near future. So I wanted to sort of open that up for any conversation with the board. Uh-oh.
Commissioner May? Oh,
No, I appreciate Commissioner Unger addressing the concern with the public, and certainly in this instance, just an exposure and liability standpoint for the city government. But in our conversation, something that was very important to me was that we, if we have agencies that are already have planned events to use the training grounds, I would like for them to be able to do that without, essentially pulling the rug or feeling like we're pulling the rug out from underneath them on something they were expecting to be there. However, I also understand just the need to make sure that we're covering our assets here. So I'm in support of getting the MOUs established. I want to know if there's any, and maybe Chief, you may know, if there's any plan through the end of the year, agencies that could potentially be impacted if we were to decide tonight that you had to have that before you step foot on the property.
I'd have to look at the range schedule.
Okay.
I do know, there have been MOUs in the past, I guess they just need to be renewed. And also, I know that KSP is insured because it's a local insurance agency that insures them as well. And they reached out to me after seeing the meeting and said, hey, we'll send a copy of KSP's insurance over to you because they're insured. So
Okay.
I know KSP's covered.
Okay. And then a question as far as, and there's, like you said, there's 18 different agencies roughly using it. To get the MOUs out, we can get them out from our end probably pretty quickly, and then it's going to be relying on how quickly they get them back.
That is correct, yeah. I would do just a basic form MOU, because I do think we found a couple, but they're like 30 years old. So I think I'll probably start from scratch, use those, do a form, send them out, but then their legal counsel, whoever else, would have to renew or have to review. So it could take a little while to get those back.
Okay. Thank you. That's all the questions.
I think, I appreciate Commissioner Unger, of course, bringing this up as well. I also want to echo what Commissioner May had said too. I don't really want to throw a wrench in anybody's schedule. So Chief, if you could probably, I would like to know how many things are lined up until the end of the year. I hate that it's taken so long for this to maybe possibly come up, but maybe if we can find like a peak time of like not too much movement at the shooting range, because I do think that it's going to take a while for it to come back from council. So just, I don't want to like mess up anybody's schedule, because I feel like the training is, of course, very imperative. But if we're coming up on the holidays, maybe if we can figure out a timeline between the entities that are using the shooting range and then us getting our MOUs back, so nobody's schedules are thrown off with training. That was a question, I guess, Chief, also. But if you can get that, that'd be awesome, just to know who's all about to be training soon.
is that directed through our city manager? We'll direct
Yeah, we could,
City manager. And if no one has an
I mean-
objection to
Yeah.
it. Commissioner Richardson?
Yeah, we just got to remember, like, to get those MOUs back, I think Laura said it best. It's going to take some bodies of government. It may take them a meeting or two or a month. So I'm 100% on board to have the MOUs, and don't believe that until we give them, quite frankly, the fact that maybe we don't have an updated MOU from someone, I think that would fall on us, our responsibility. I don't feel like we should punish any agency using our range not to train on it. So I think that sounds like the consensus, but timeline, it just would depend on that governing body. And if I'm not mistaken, Chief can probably answer this. You know, you have a lot of state, you may have 18 different agencies that he mentioned, but out of that, you may have 5 or 6 of those maybe state agencies that would really fall under one insurer as for the state, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. We have federal agencies, state agencies, then we have the county jail and the sheriff's office of both other county. So a lot of different divisions in the Kentucky State Police, but really it's all the state. So we break it down that way, it's, well, and J-Town, so maybe 4 or 5 different entities, when we break it down that way.
Commissioner Smith-Willis?
Is there a way, I guess, that we could give all these entities a heads up? I know you said KSP saw the meeting, but I think in lieu of this, of timing, that's why I asked my question of, do we have like a dead period to where they're not gonna be actively training to where we can get this in motion? But if not, I just feel like also at the same time, giving everybody a heads up, like, hey, we're doing this, because like Commissioner Richardson said, I mean, it's been a while since it's been talked about where the accountability falls in. That's another conversation, but in terms of them training, not throwing off their training, but then also us being transparent and giving everybody a heads up, I feel like that would be a really genuine gesture. So that's just my thoughts on that before we start making pieces move.
December's absolutely the slowest time, December into January. You know, through the holidays and then the dead of winter, that's the slowest time.
Commissioner Unger?
I understand the impact that this could make on those agencies and organizations, but I also want to make sure we're doing everything as we should and, you know, legally safe. And that's part of, you know, why we're here, to make sure we're doing things correctly. So I would also default to what you might have to say in terms of, should we continue to let people use it for a period of time? And you don't have to answer this now, but I would like to also just hear from your side legally at
Well,
some point.
Now that we've been put on notice that, that we don't have the MOUs, and, you know, this does happen in city government.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you know, neither Derek nor Jason, nor it was 20 years before our time, maybe on a couple of those. But now that it's been brought to our attention and we are aware, I do think that the more quickly we get these MOUs in place, the better. So maybe it's a matter of really speaking to the agencies in terms of the urgency of it now that we know. I realize nothing has happened in this amount of time, but now I do feel like we're on notice. And we need to actually get those in place pretty quickly.
So do we want to put a time frame on this, or take it up at the work session? Or how would you like to proceed?
Would you like me to work with the police chief to get that time frame to bring to you all at the work session? Would that work? We can get that time frame of what we think might be a good time frame. Look at the dead periods, look at the scheduling, and bring that to you all to work session.
That'd be
That if we don't have MOAs in place, then there's a cutoff.
Yes, we can definitely set it up like that. And one thing we can do in the meantime too is to check with all the entities, just like KSP volunteered the information, to see if they do have insurance, which
Yep, the
is
insurance.
a major, you know, that's really, I'd say the glaring, most important concern right now, so.
But then we'll have an opportunity to weigh in whether or not, I mean, just because you have insurance doesn't mean you get to
Right.
use our.
You
Right,
all would
it's
have
still
to
not an
approve all
agreement.
MOUs.
It's just we're allowing it without
Right.
the agreement.
Does everyone feel good about
I
that?
feel
Is
good
that-
about that.
Or good enough?
Good first step.
All right, so we'll target that for December work session.
December work session, I'll work with we'll start work tomorrow on it and kind of figure out the timeframe.
Thank you.
Is there any other new business to come before the board? Now, how about board comments? Commissioner Smith-Willis.
I have one, since I guess it's the week of the holiday, for whatever everybody celebrates. I just wanted to just say I appreciate the community for hanging out with us this year as a new Board of Commissioners, and I just appreciate the staff, of course, per usual. I know we've kind of went through a lot of different things this year, but it's been really great working with you all and just learning with you guys, so I just want to say thank you.
Commissioner Unger.
I just want to, say happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and hope you can take some time to be with family and friends and relax. We all need it.
All right, any other board comments? Besides happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Bye, Rob. Hope you feel better.